These are students from Mount Madonna School. This is this year's graduating class of seniors. Everybody I've met that's been associated with Swami Chinmayananda have been fabulous people. And this is one of the greatest examples of effective service that I've seen in India. And it's due to the sincerity and hard work and perseverance of Dr. Metre and all the people around her. That's true. So with that, if you have any opening remarks you'd like to make, otherwise they're prepared with questions.
Okay, just want to welcome you, all of you. I feel very good to see young people getting interested in development. So congratulations. When you ask me questions, please give me your names so that I can sort of remember you by your name a little. Sadanandji, it's his other name, Mr. Ward's, which I like.
They call me SN, which is short for Sadanand, so Sadanand is fine.
Okay, that's great. So I look forward to your questions and to your introduction and why you are here, how long you've spent in India, a little about you so that I know, and what has it been like, okay?
My name is Bella. We are here for 2 weeks and we go around different places and we're trying to take in as much as we can, and we're using everything we see and everything we hear as an opportunity to further our education and experience a different culture. Mm-hmm. And our hope at the end of the trip is to have reached some sort of new threshold of knowledge that we can have and bring back with us and share.
You're very lucky to do it at this age so that you have a long life ahead where you would be using this growth within your own self in another dimension of yourself. Yes, so questions, anything you would like me to continue with?
Hi, my name is Akio. So in a previous interview with Mount Madonna School, you said, take the journey within and the one without won't be so daunting. Mm. We heard something very similar yesterday in our conversations with both Rinchen Kondo and Samdong Rinpoche. Since we don't come from a culture that generally supports this kind of introspection, what would you say are the basic steps we can take to begin the journey within?
I'll just relate a little story that I learned from a 2.5-year girl. Many years ago, when I had come here to the ashram, I went back to Delhi to be with my brother and his little daughter. When I came out of the washroom and had had a good bath and a shower and everything, washed my hair, everything, so I had taken long. I came out and she said to me, "Auntie, you had a body bath?" I said, "Yes." "Did you have it with soap? I said, "Yes." "Did you have a mind bath?" So I asked her, "What is mind bath?" She said, "No, come and sit on the bed." So she sat on the bed, the way you are sitting, but this is called Sukhasana. You sit where you're comfortable nicely, with your back straight, like this girl is sitting. And she said, for 5 minutes, just be quiet. And think of the Lord if you like. But be quiet for 5 minutes. I said, okay. So we did it. She said, just like you apply soap to the body and clean yourself every day, we must also have a mind bath every day. I was amazed. So I asked her, where did you learn this? She said she was going to a play school. And a nursery teacher, when they came to school, these little kids, she told them this, and for 5 minutes, all the kids sat down for 5 minutes. Now she is a little older than all of you, okay? But that little teaching has been a long way to know about our own self within. So there's nothing much one needs to do. One needs just to be quiet within and feel your own presence of being blissful, silent, which is creative, and that your own being, the being that you are. Just feel that. 5 minutes in the morning when you get up, and 5 minutes in the evening to start with. Later on, you would like to enjoy it more and more. And that will give you the amount of rest and relaxation many times more than what we get in sleep too. So you're ready, energetic for the whole day. Yeah? And your creative energy at this good level. So try. It's only by practicing that we would know what we are all about. So that's very simple, natural way of diving within.
Can you say something about, you said silence that is creative. Will you say a little something about that?
Because that silence gives you so much relaxation. You enter that level of your mind which we have not used. And that creativity is there in each one of us, it will emerge. You don't have to do much, it's effortless.
My name's Savannah.
Savannah, what a beautiful name.
Oh, thank you. When you took the leap of faith to join Cord, was there any doubt or resistance from within you, your family, or friends?
Really, these are good questions, yeah? When I was just about to join, I landed into a very good private practice in Delhi. It came to my lap almost because there was a very famous pediatrician who was murdered, so his whole practice came to me. That was the time I decided to leave. So people thought I'd gone crazy. And after a few days, when I had already decided I was leaving and I was sort of allocating my patients to different pediatricians, there was an international pediatric conference in Delhi, which I attended. So everyone came to know I was leaving and they said, "You're gone crazy. What's wrong with you? You know, you're now getting into the real cream of the work." And I said, "No, I'm not crazy. It's a far, far better thing that I do than I've ever done before. Tale of Two Cities. It's a far, far better place that I go to than I've ever been before." So I didn't feel I'm doing anything different. I was very happy about my decision. And as far as my family is concerned, they said, "Oh," you know, they had their little doubts, but I said I would be happy, and for us, I have a good family. For them, it's important that we be happy. So that if you're happy, then it's fine. So it was all right. They had their questions, they asked me many questions, but I said, I'm happy. So they said, if you're happy, we are happy. Yes?
Hi, my name is Amelia.
Amelia, Savannah, that all sound very rhythmic.
Were there any obstacles during Cord's process of creating self-help groups in the 564 villages of the Congo district?
In the beginning, yes, because I wouldn't say obstruction, but they had never known about such a thing that can exist, and a little apprehensive where the money would go. But when we told them that we are not going to touch your money is going to be within your own group. There's no issue about your money going anywhere else, because you see sometimes other people who have been doing lending to the people have cheated them by telling them you'll get a lot of money, taken their money and said you would get a lot of interest back. So that kind of thing would not happen to them, but they were a little apprehensive. So we just settled their minds by saying, we won't touch your money. The money will be within your own group in circulation. And when you have a lot of money, you can put it into the bank. But now for the time being, it will be with you. So they were fine. I had no problem.
Hi, my name's Caroline.
Caroline is a famous name, so I will remember that.
In your experience developing Cord, part of the process must be helping leaders to emerge. Can you talk about the qualities you look for in a leader or someone you wish to mentor?
If I'm looking for a leader, first I have to have the qualities that I want the other person to have. Because the qualities that are most important for a leader is to be able to listen. And listen by being in the shoes of the other who's telling you. Because everyone has something to say. They not agree with what I think. So the best quality for a leader is to be able to listen to people. A leader should also be doing what he talks about. So you can't say something to someone and not be doing it yourself. A leader should have passion for the work they want to do. It should not be a job. If it's a job, it becomes a laborer's thing. You're just being a laborer, Someone has to force you to do something. But if it is your own self-motivation, and so leader must have these few qualities to go ahead with his leadership. That is enough. You're a good leader. You do what you say. You're passionate about your job or whatever you're doing. You're enjoying it. It doesn't tire you. Self-motivated. Then the others' leadership will come through. Because everyone has that within them. It's only about, discovering it for each one to discover it within themselves.
Hi, my name's Izzy.
It sounds like easy. Everything, just make everything easy.
In a previous interview with our school, you talked about teaching people to overcome superstitions related to the medical field. Can you explain more about the challenges and ways in which you have dealt with these superstitions?
Good. It's not so much now, but earlier when we started our work, people have different kinds of beliefs in different areas. Each local area will have a context of beliefs that are not founded on any truth. So here, people would believe different things, that some bad omen has come, that's why this person is ill. So what they would think was, if a bad omen has come, then you have to call here is a word they call chela. Chela is almost like a witchcraft man, He'll come to the house and he'll perform some rituals and say now that bad omen or whatever is happening to you is gone. But you actually have a disease that can be approached, that needs to be cured, and you waste all those years thinking now it's gone. Those kind of things. And these people would also take their payment in different ways. They're not very right people. You had to pay them by giving them a bottle of alcohol, a few cocks and hen for him to eat. So those were the things that would go around in the village. Sometimes they believed that, rightly so for their own convenience, the traditional birth attendants, that if you didn't give the baby in the womb too much to eat, it will be small, so it will come out easily. Birth delivery will be easy. And sometimes you have to face those kind of things. Not difficult. When you explain to them, you listen to them, and you try to understand where it comes from, you deal with it.
Thank you.
Hi.
Again, I'm Bella.
Bella, yes.
I have two questions. So the first one is, has working with CORD changed the way you look at human rights?
Change the way?
You look at human rights. And then the second one is, what does true equality mean to you?
See, I don't think working in CORD has changed much about how I look at human rights. If I demand something for myself, I must have that for the other person too. It's as easy as that. Human rights is as easy as that. So when you grow up with a balanced mind, you start seeing that everyone must have that kind of right that I have the entitlement to, because I belong to a privileged family, or a privilege, whatever it may be. And your other question was about
What does true equality mean to you?
even for rights, I would like to say something. Before I demand any right, I must know about my duties. Otherwise, it becomes too much of demanding, and desires never get fulfilled. So if I understand my own duties, I will understand other people's rights too. Sometimes our rights may not be so right for my own growth. Let me just give an example. See, if you become too right-based, become too aggressive too. We will see. So you have to be able to see what my duty is, what love is about, and then demand. Like suppose you came, all of you came together, and I had only this room to give it to you. So, I need my right of space, I need this, and I need that. Then it's about too much of demanding. Then, okay, fine, I can do it for a few days, doesn't matter. That kind of right has many connotations too. So we must first be able to say, oh, have I done my duty about looking after everyone, being responsible about giving to others? Then ask for rights, okay? Rights should not ever cause aggressiveness in us. You asked about equality. What does equality mean to me? Equality means not being greedy. Because now, when you look at equality in many ways, we have become too consumer-minded, and we have destroyed the environment around us. Okay? So we might be thinking of equality in many other levels, but we are not being equal to the nature too. You're destroying nature. It will ultimately destroy us one day. So equality has so many dimensions. The simplest way is to be able to give people equal kinds of privilege that each one of us enjoy, equal kinds of opportunities that we all enjoy, and people who are vulnerable, have difficulty, think of their accessibilities to those kind of things I can access. like a person who is physically handicapped cannot access and come upstairs. So maybe if they are coming, if I don't have a lift, I have to make sure that I have the whole thing for them is arranged downstairs. And if I have a new building, how much accessibility can I make for them? So that they have the rights for the accessibility, that body should not become a barrier for them to access other things. So equality has many dimensions, but I think you want simple way is what I said. That's what it means to me, Bella.
Thank you.
So hi, my name's Nate.
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 Okay, Nate, tell me.
So in an article with The Guardian, you said it was the people who decided their needs, which were wide-ranging. You have to look at a person and what they need and work from there. What is your process of prioritizing the projects of those you serve and pinpointing the most pressing need?
Yeah. See, while we worked mostly with the poor and the underprivileged, but even in a group of poor people who sit together, like we are sitting together, we sit like this. And it's easy to look at their priorities rather than what my program is here in my mind. I don't go there, okay, I'm come for giving you just one program, health, okay? Her difficulty may be something with a child that needs some health intervention. His difficulty may be something he doesn't know where to earn his living, what to do about it. He doesn't have any money to run his own family. Her problem may be an alcoholic husband who beats her up every day. So everyone talks about their different issues, but together we start looking at what are the feasible solutions for whatever the problem is. And based on those needs, the community came together because we started addressing them as best as we could. It's not that we resolved everything, okay? And from that came up different programs that you see in CORD, which addresses many of the issues that the poor people usually face. That's easy. Once you start connecting with people, instead of making your own program top to down, you work bottom up, things start happening. Because you start harnessing their strengths too, their decisions, their wisdom, their insights. So it works in so many ways, just not me working, the other person is also working with me to resolve the issue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Metre.
Hi, my name is Kayla.
Kayla? Mm-hmm. You know what Kayla means in Hindi?
Banana.
I'm sure many people told you already.
Yeah. Through your work in rural India dealing with health, women's equality, and economic development, are you concerned that the good parts of village life and rural culture may be diminished in the face of growing capacity to consume?
Okay, Kayla, really wise question, huh? I also think about this very often. We should not destroy the beauty of diversity all over the world. It has its own beauty. Like I'm enjoying your being here. You're different. You have different backgrounds, but it's a great enjoyment, isn't it? So diversity is beautiful. But unity in diversity is another question, but diversity should not be destroyed. So village life and urban life have their own plus points. But if I were to make all villages like urban areas, then what was there in the village we will lose. So our work, I try not to, we would like to bring prosperity for them, but I say it not the urban way, the rural way. I keep working at that. To make prosperity come the rural way rather than the urban way. But it's not easy, Kayla. It's not easy at all. Because there's such a big global environmental circumstances, changes that are occurring all over. But I think we should all strive with it. Otherwise, after many years, we'll all have everything looking the same all over the world. Concrete building, concrete people, everything concrete. That would be the loss of a lot of fun, isn't it?
We notice at our ashram in Hardwar, we have an orphanage in the school, and it's in a village area, Shampur village. It's partly Muslim, mostly Muslim in the village, and partly Hindu. When they talk about success, somebody has graduated, gone to college, and has a job in Gurgaon.
It's great. He's great and going to, and then he moves away to the US greater.
Exactly. And so then I wonder, heaven is not in the cities, I don't think.
Not at all.
And I think it's more in the rural areas. I wonder if we could change the story.
We can, all of you and us can try.
Exactly.
But it's going to be very difficult because I try. I don't, because when we work with seminars and all, I do not agree to work at things that are going to make people migrate to urban area. I try to do things that they will make their own rural area interesting for them. But then a drop here, a drop there is not going to make that much of a change, but we can all try.
Hi, my name is Tara. Tara?
Tara? Yes, Tara star.
Yeah. Martha Nussbaum, a professor in Greek philosophy, talks about the fact that sometimes you have to make choices where there is no clear overriding good, and there will be some negative consequences no matter what you do. Have you ever been faced with one of these kind of decisions? And if so, what impact did it have on you?
Certain choices that might have certain negative impacts. That's what you're trying to say?
If you've come across a decision where neither option seems like the right one,
Oh, yes.
how do you choose?
I'm going through that just now. It's a personal thing because I told Sadanandji that I may not be here on the 6th. And my sister is ill. I might be in the hospital in Delhi. And I am at that stage even now because she has a condition. If she goes for an operation, she might die on the table. But if you do know nothing about it, she will suffer very dangerously very soon. So the choice is very difficult. And I've sort of weighed many pros and cons with myself, with the family. Since she looks fine now and is running her life is all right, and she's old and frail, for the time being, I've decided not to do anything. And it's not a choice that I will say is right or wrong. It's difficult. So sometimes in life, we have to make choices. But when we make a choice, for the time being, we must make the best of it. So I'm praying, and all of us are enjoying her as much as we can for the time being. That's it. It's a difficult situation. All decisions we make may not be right, but if we pray and make them and ask for the Lord and the cosmos to guide us, and we do our best all the time, okay, that's the best we could do. Okay? So, yes, we have come across such times, and it's not easy, Tara. But most times, this is a very rare thing. It's happened to me first time in my life. This kind of a decision. Other times you have to weigh mostly that you don't cause any harm to anyone. whatever choice you make, or you cause the least harm to the person concerned.
Martha Nussbaum was a Greek philosopher. She's a teacher of Greek philosophy. And the question sometimes comes, it's Agamemnon's question, which of these choices is without harm? And when we've lived as long as you and I have lived, sometimes there's things that you just have to carry in life. And I think it's an understanding that often young people don't have because we live in the realm of right and wrong. But some things you have to bear, you just have to carry. And I think, as you're saying, with faith and prayer, perhaps that's the best way we can carry them.
Yes. I think that's the easiest way to do it, the best way to do it for all of us. But be careful when you make certain difficult decisions.
Hi, my name's Devin. And my question is, has there ever been points in your career where you've had to take substantial risks? What allowed you to persevere and take any necessary chances to achieve your goal?
Everyone is very intelligent, I must say. Life is full of risks. There is risk everywhere. And a businessman takes risks many times. A successful businessman is a person who is able to take risk. But when he takes risk, he takes all the precautions too, and makes sure that he has the ability to face that risk and its outcomes. So facing risk cannot be the same for everyone. When we take risk, a lot depends on what is my ability to face what may be a negative outcome too. If I have that ability, face it and take it. Otherwise, we'll never grow. But all people may not have the ability to take the risk. But a person who may not have the ability to face this risk may have the ability to face another risk. Because we all have different abilities and capabilities. So it depends a lot on ourselves too. If it's a company, it depends a lot on the company itself. Okay? So risks can be taken and should be taken for growth to happen, but should be taken with a lot of precaution, understanding, and capability.
Hi, it's me again. Is there any advice that you've received that was instrumental in helping you to develop, as a more caring and effective person in your work?
There's so many advices that we receive in life. And Akio wants me to say only one advice. Huh? That's very difficult question, Akio. I think nothing works for us in life as much as just enjoying love. Nothing better than that. Nothing more. It's easy. It makes us feel happy. And it makes others happy too. And love is all about unconditional love. And it is expansive, always expansive, not restricted, not limited. Hi.
My name is Isaac. So which aspect of your work provides you with the most gratification?
Which aspect of my work?
I hope you're having fun with these
Yeah,
questions.
I'm having fun. I'm having great fun. I have to start thinking, I was sitting relaxed in my room, and which aspect of my work makes me feel? very happy. When I see people flowering, blossoming with their potential, this makes me very happy. Because everyone has that potential. They sometimes, because of their circumstances, might believe they are less, but they're not less. So when they start realizing and coming up in life and doing what makes them happy and enjoying it, then it makes me happy too. So over the last 30 years, I've seen many of that happening. So it's good, it's really good. Isaac.
Hello, Amelia again.
Yes, Amelia.
In the course of your work, what aspects do you feel have been the most successful?
I think working with the people in groups, allowing community-based organizations to do active participatory work, where they start making decisions, taking ownership, responsibility, that makes me very happy. That is the real success. If I have to go to a group and I see they are doing things themselves and growing, wow, that's great.
Hi, I'm Vibhuti.
Vibhuti, yes, Vibhuti.
I know that God has been here for many years, and it's almost reached almost all aspects of people's lives in the villages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know what your vision for God is.
See, we have a vision statement. It's about transforming people through their own potentials. That's the vision for God. In rural India, mostly areas that have not been reached, we would like to reach those kind of remote rural India not reached yet. Because even some parts of rural India are very close to the cities, they probably will be urbanized very soon. So we want to reach out those areas more. Vibhuti?
I want to take a little beat here. I want to ask a question, then I want to ask them a question.
Okay.
So what I want to ask you is, how much fun are you having?
Just now, I am having great fun.
And how much fun are you having in life in general?
A lot of fun. I think I'm here because I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here if I was not having fun.
So the point of the question is that people who give of themselves in the manner which Dr. Metre gives have more fun.
Yeah, maybe. And even if you're doing any other thing, I'm not I sort of, as I'm growing older, I realize that wherever you are, be with yourself in the present. Even if you're in a corporate sector, do a lot of good with all the money that you get for others. You may not be directly doing it, and enjoy it while whatever you're doing in your work.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree with him that you give a lot. Giving is a great joy. But earning that giving with the right methods is also very important. If I earn a lot by stealing from her and giving it to her, that may not be very good.
She won't like it anyway. So the question for you guys is, what have you heard Dr. Metre say so far that has meaning for you? And we can start anywhere on the circle. Amelia?
Your whole approach, just the simplicity of your answers, it just makes it feel very achievable. Just saying that love is expansive and that there's so much of it, it makes me feel like the hardest task, and there's not some big instrumental thought that I have to follow in order to get somewhere. It's just that
Yes, that's
So,
easy,
yeah.
isn't it easy?
Yeah.
I found what you said about equality was just really interesting, about how it extends beyond just people, but the equality between us and our environment. And I think, that's just such a hot topic right now with global warming and just equality as a term in general. And so the way you just kind of simply just laid it out there, I thought this really inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought it was interesting what you said about the mind bath.
Yeah,
And
isn't that, Bella, if you carry that mind bath with you, do it yourself and do it with, let others do it, you all have great fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that somebody so young could bring that idea forth and could think so deeply about that. And the fact that an educator brought that principle or that little exercise into her life was really cool.
Thank you.
I also agree with the mind bath. It's only, I don't know how many minutes are in a day, but of that, only 10 minutes you have to spend, and too often we're just go, 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 and we forget to take that 5 minutes of our day to just relax.
Till you
And-
reach 20 minutes, okay? 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the
We'll
evening.
start with 5.
Yeah. Gradually it will come to you.
Yeah.
I really appreciated what you said about keeping like the traditions in the villages and like adding on to them. I'm a teacher and I have a lot of students that speak Spanish as their predominant language, and my challenge is keeping like their language. I want them to keep their language. I don't want them to just have to abandon that and move into English. Like I want them to continue to grow with their language and grow with English. So
Oh, that's very good.
I really like respect what you had to say about that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I really liked what you said about it makes you happy to see people blossom and see people reaching their full potential, because I'm also a teacher, and for me, anytime somebody asks me why I teach, why I love to do that, my response is always that I love being able to give young minds, I guess, the tools they need to reach that full potential and giving them that opportunity. And then I also liked what you said about wherever you are, just be there. I've been reading this book that's called Wherever You Go, There You Are, and it's just about mindfulness in like the moment, and I think that's something really important that everyone should strive to achieve, just being present.
Thank you. That's great. I think we all need to do that, isn't it?
I love how you just took like the extra step to learn all of our names and just like address us by name. It made it feel a lot more like a conversation than just like, just like ask question, answer, stuff like that. And then the other thing you said about how when taking risks and stuff like that, you always have to be prepared to be met with negative results and failure and stuff like that. And I feel like that's like a very important thing to, like a very important quality to have. Just be like accepting and like willing to jump into something without knowing fully what the outcome's going to be like.
Yes.
I've been having this conversation with Sadhananji the last couple of days about leadership and what everybody who's been doing great work have in common, and I'm completely surprised how all of you just realize that listening is so important, empathy is so important, and I'm like, wow, how did they figure that out? And it's really nice for me to know that, that everybody has these qualities, and that's what makes them great leaders.
Thank you, Vibhuti. Yes, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And each one is a leader.
Yeah.
So Vibhuti has worked with Teach for India.
Oh.
And also with the Youth Alliance in Delhi. And she's part and parcel of a group of young people who I admire a lot.
Okay, that's great. We had Teach for India, 2 groups came here, one in December, one in January, about 180 or so of them.
I was a part of that.
Oh, did you come?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Vibhuti.
And I would also want to add that I was really overwhelmed then to understand and be here for a couple of days. But now when we went around this campus, we did not get a chance to go around this campus when we were here. We went to the villages. And it's just so amazing to see what has happened, and I'm completely overwhelmed to see that it's reached all aspects, and how you mentioned that it's about listening to people, and the entire organization got built on what somebody needed, and processes came about to help that. So
That's it.
So I really liked what you said about leadership a lot, and how coming into small groups and empowering the group. I think it really made every individual kind of a leader. And watching the video before you came in, and just the interactions that the groups had with men or anyone who might be disadvantaging women, it just really seemed like they all were totally invested, and all like they just looked like leaders, you know. So yeah.
Thank you, Sek. Now that you said you saw this, they saw the movie. Call Khushi. She's here today. She's come from her school for a holiday. The movie that you saw, Khushi? You saw that?
Yeah.
She's here.
We met her, a few of us, when we were going up the stairs.
Some of you met her?
Yeah,
Okay.
because she's got some holidays now. So she's staying here for a little while.
Well, when you said that everyone has different abilities and capabilities to take on certain risks, I thought that was really interesting because I had never thought about it like that before.
Yes, everyone has it.
Hi, Kushi. Namaste.
That's Khushi.
It's kind of the same thing that Nate was saying, how the equality with the environment and stuff like that, because I plan to be a marine biologist so I can help conserve, like, you know, the ocean and things like that, and it's very, like, important to me to, like, preserve and take care of our environment, so it was very, like, nice to talk about it in, like, an equality sort of sense, because even I hadn't even kind of thought of it like that, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys good? Okay. Now you understand why I love, admire, and respect this woman. Right? You got it. Why it was important for you guys to be here. Because you can feel it in the room, right? I'm watching you as you're listening, and I could see people being filled up in a certain way. And I think it is the simplicity. But it takes a lot of work to get to simplicity. But I'm always inspired when I sit with you, because it reminds me that it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
And so you always inspire me to try again.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sadananji. And here's Khushi. She's studying. She's now in the 9th grade. 10th grade. Now just got into the 10th grade, yeah? Or you appeared for 10th grade. Appeared for the 10th grade exam. So, if you want to ask her something, you can ask her. She's learning a little English, so she might be able to reply.
Anybody have a question for her? We saw her on the movie. She's a movie star. Where is she in school now?
In Chandigarh.
In Chandigarh?
In a hostel there.
Oh, okay.
So she's studying there.
Nice. And
one lady was very kind enough to take over her, so she's getting sponsored by them.
And what are you studying? She's going into 10th, so soon she's picking her stream, right?
Yes. Tell them, what are you interested in?
Journalist.
Journalist.
Being a journalist. Okay.
Your mother was here with us last night. Okay. Her mother lives in that's a complicated story. Her mother lives in a house very close by, around 4-5 kilometers away. So her father-in-law has yet not given her the space for her to build a toilet. You know, there's a whole story that's been going on for years, and we fought for some space for her, and then we got that space, but that space for the toilet hasn't yet come. So we are fighting for the space for the toilet. And this young lady doesn't like to go home there because she's got used to having a toilet. Mm-hmm. So we said, okay, she stays with us. Okay.
What's the hardest subject? Math. Yes. That's a universal answer in India. So You know, we have the Sri Ram Ashram, the orphanage and school that we have near Hardwar, Shampur village, just outside of Hardwar. I hope someday that it would be a wonderful thing to have a visit. And when you visit, bring her along.
Yeah,
She'll
that
make
would be
a lot
great.
of friends there. We spent 4 days there.
Yeah.
And that's a place we go to fall in
So
love.
you really expose them to many new things, don't you?
What did you learn at Sri Ram Ashram? We have about 60 children there.
Okay.
That have been abandoned, but they're no longer abandoned now. They're a part of a big family. What did you learn there? Yeah.
I learned that language doesn't necessarily mean that you will like have a connection or not, because like there was a little girl that she was really new to the ashram, so she didn't know English, but we were like best friends there the entire time.
Oh wow, great.
Yeah, we would play like hand games and like we would count all the time because she was like a little girl, but I learned that you didn't really need language.
You got it.
What else did you learn there?
I learned that love doesn't always have to be slowly developed. It can just be given, even if it's a new relationship.
Yes.
I always say we go to the ashram to get adopted. When we go there, we get adopted.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, I'm so happy, Sadanandji, that you're doing this for them. You're actually exposing them to another part. You're not exposing to just urban India, a big city, but to the rest of the world at this age. So these people are going to become very good, balanced, wise human beings. I think that's very important. Your school really thinks big. To make you all get exposed to all kinds of things. Thank you.
Bella, you want to ask our last question then, and then we'll let Dr. Metre get back to her busy life.
So I was wondering if you had any advice for us as young people who are about to go into the world for the first times on our own.
Know yourself. Once you know yourself, you know everyone else. That's it.